So, hello and welcome. This is Erica Glessing, and I'm so glad to have with me on the show today an amazing woman who is both a licensed acupuncturist and a master herbalist. Welcome, Nina Price.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And tell me, where in the world is the show today? Where are you calling me from?
Palo Alto,
And you've been there for a while, huh? How many
over
years have
30
you been?
years. Over
Over
30
30
years.
years.
I mean, not like you. You grew up there, right?
What's one of your favorite things in Palo Alto? Like you're like a coffee shop or a flower place, which is something that you really love.
In Palo Alto. Many favorite places. This is going to sound really silly, but one of my new favorites is Sushi Burrito on University. You said it could be silly, so there you go.
Well, that even sounds very curious. So now everybody has to go check it out. But I want to talk with you about wellness and colds. And I just get flattened by colds. I'm not a good person when I catch a cold. I can go healthy for months and months and months and months. And then I'm not sure what happens when a cold comes, but I'm a baby. So tell me a little bit. I know you have some really interesting wisdom on this one.
Well, and really, I want to be the go-to person when people get colds. The number one thing to remember about colds is to notice that it's starting. Most people seem to get a cold or some symptoms, and they walk around with them for a few days.
And we go
And
into denial. Because
exactly,
we
and
don't
it's
want to
like,
get a cold. We don't want
that's
to get
right,
a cold. We don't want to slow down. We can't stop our work. We have way too many appointments. This is not acceptable, right? This is what busy people
exactly.
do. But
And we
maybe there's a better way.
The better way is number one, notice that something is happening. And I have my husband trained. He'll come home and he'll say, I'm getting a little sore throat. And it's like, okay, he said, what do I take? And I'll hand him the formula and he'll start to take it and he'll never get a full on cold
Oh my
because he
goodness.
notices right at the beginning. And that's what I want everybody to remember. Notice what's happening. Are you getting a sore throat? Are you feeling achy? Are you getting nasal congestion? Are your sinuses just really a mess? I mean, you were saying you had a big sinusy cold and
Yeah, and then I get like third eye blocked and I'm really
Mhm,
intuitive. And so right away I notice like I can't order my day correctly. Like
mhm.
normally I just have this sort of sense of what's most important and I do write things down, but I also just have that like innate intuition of hitting the most important things first. And
Mhm.
the first thing that I notice is everything kind of blends into mush, like all my 10 things, like because that clarity when I lose that when my head's all sick. And the other thing that showed up for me is I wonder how many people have given up hope that something could help.
Well, I think people believe that Western medicine can't cure a cold. And you know what? Western medicine can't
Can't.
cure a cold.
No, they don't want you to go to the doctor for that. That's for dang
Right.
sure.
But so people, and even you said to this to me earlier, you mean there's stuff you can do for colds? Absolutely. Chinese medicine, as we know, is thousands of years old. In fact, one of my teachers used to say, traditional Chinese medicine, clinical trials of over 5,000 years, over 1 billion people served.
Oh my
So
goodness.
Chinese medicine has been
They've
healing a
learned a
lot of
few
colds.
things.
And
Yeah.
and basically there are two kinds of colds, and everybody catches a cold their own way. And so what I like to do is I talk to people about, so what's going on? Well, I've got a sore throat and my sinuses are getting blocked, or I'm feeling like a lot of nasal congestion and I'm feeling kind of achy and chills. And so I want to know the exact symptoms, and then I can give you an herbal formula that matches your symptoms.
That's
And
fascinating. I didn't, as you were saying that, if I look back at like my last two colds, because I had one last year also, I don't remember, I think it was early summer, and it was a chills one.
mhm,
And then the one I had this last month was like a stuffy, sinusy one. It was pretty
mhm.
different, and I didn't even get the chills.
Right. And those are two different kinds of colds, and you would treat them differently. The one that you got last year, I also got last year with the
Wow.
chills and the
Yeah.
achy neck and back. And
Yeah.
mine was in my lungs in under 12 hours. I was like what on earth? It went
Wow.
right into my lungs. And that's what you don't want. And that's why it's important to treat a cold as soon as you start to notice symptoms.
Nice. Now, what about things like fruits and vegetables and like garlic and things like that? Can you also add some nutritional components to your
Of
practice?
course, of course. In fact, people make jokes about chicken soup, but chicken soup is one of the best things you can eat.
Wow.
Or even, if you don't eat meat, some kind of a really nourishing broth
It
is
even
really,
sounds good
really
when you
important.
say it.
Yeah, and it's very
Yeah.
good for you because, of
Yeah.
course, it's warming up your chest, it's warming up your digestion, it's
Mhm.
getting nutrition in there, but it's not super hard to digest. And I always like Chinese hot and sour soup when I have a
Oh,
cold.
I love that. Oh my
And
goodness.
it's one of the best things
Yeah.
you can actually eat when you have a cold.
I'm gonna plug Su Hong.
Yes, exactly.
I love their soup. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
And I was at Suhong with my last cold, and I got 2 quarts of hot and sour soup because I wasn't up to
Oh,
cooking it myself. I do make my own, but I just was there with my quarts, and I made them last as long as I could make them last. But
I
yes,
love it. Yeah. So
so
I
there
want to
are
just
lots of
jump in,
things to
Nina.
do.
This I love talking about this. I just want to tap a little bit into the acupuncture part of
Sure,
your background and
sure.
maybe just, I get the same kind of thing where people might have pain in their what I just got kind of shown to me was people give up on that too. Like they have things that are bothering them with their alignment of their back, or they have things that are bothering them, and they don't even know that they can get help. And so maybe tell us, like, what are some things an acupuncturist can actually help someone with?
Oh, any I can help you with anything you would not take to the emergency room.
Wow.
Honestly, I've treated people who had side effects from cancer medications. I've treated people who had hepatitis C. I've treated people who had Bell's palsy. I've treated people who've had all manner of digestive issues. I mean, really, Chinese medicine works incredibly well, even on modern diseases.
I love it. This was so much fun. It went by really, really fast. I understand that you're going to share with people not only, what kind of the domain, but you can also share with people a phone number where they can call you. So tell us a little bit about how we can reach you and find out more.
Okay, you can reach me at 650-424-8783, and you will get me.
Wow.
The other thing that I do have is I have a Be Your Own Herbalist colds and immunity kit. And you can find that online, midlifewithoutcrisis.com/colds.
Well, I am going to put that right under the description on the show so people can find it. So, say it again, midlifewithoutcrisis.com.
Midlifewithoutcrisis.com/colds. And the thing I
Colds.
want everyone listening to remember is when you're getting a cold, call me. I will tell you how to get rid of it fast.
Thank you, Nina. You're awesome. This was such a great interview. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Erica. It's a treat to be here.